because every word is weighted based on how early it appears in your prompt. So now it's going to prioritize a moody romantic fantasy style. Yep. So we're a little bit darker, a little bit moodier, much more direct and intense stares. So those little changes can make little changes overall. Um, Most of the time, what you want to do is put as much information as you can in there. I'm going to show you a little trick that I do where I go. Let me see here. Let me pull up. Oh, okay. So I've got. Oh no. Sorry, my computer is being strange. ChatGPT. So if you've got ChatGPT, one cool thing that you can do with it is I've got this profile that I have made for Reese Alderforth, this gentleman that I am making. And I'm going to go ahead and copy his information and put it into ChatGPT. And it's going to tell me some stuff, and that's fine. I don't really care. So I'm going to type in generate a picture of him. And if I more specifically want something, I can say something like in the style of a romance novel cover without words. That's one of my favorite ways to generate bots is say, give me the style of a romance novel cover without depending on what I'm making. So it's going to go ahead and it uses something called Dolly in the background to create an image. And honestly, overall, it doesn't create horrible images, but they're very, very sharp. And they're just not quite the most attractive thing. If you like it, great. You just stick with that. But we're going to go over here to info. If you're on mobile, you can just long press on the picture and it will pop up something that says copy prompt. But we're just going to copy the prompt for this dude. And then we'll just pop right back over here and put it in. And let's check the settings that we have here. We're going to do it in Niji. We're going to use the personalization that I like the most, which is this one. And we're going to leave it at stylized 500. Everything else the same. Great. Anything that you put up in the prompt here after these dash dash. So like here, I've got dash dash profile, whatever. If you go down here to personalize and you have it off, that's fine. It's what's in the prompt that matters, and it will override your settings. So we'll go down here. And I haven't even read through this prompt. I have no idea. But maybe we can do a little editing of it if we don't like how it comes out. Let's see. And right now is when we should see, yep. There we go. He's looking more soldierly. Got a sword. Oh, bitch. Hello. Nice crop top, bruh. Love it. Okay, he's got some elf ears. We can go in and add elf ears to our no statement like we did with the other thing. If we're getting a lot of elf ears as we're generating these. That one's not too bad. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go here and we'll put in dash dash no. And then with something like a 2-word phrase, if I just put in no elf ears, it might say, oh, so you don't want elves and you don't want ears. Great, I can do that. If you put it in parentheses like that, it kind of combines the words for it and tells it like, hey, no elf ears specifically. So we can generate that. And hopefully we don't get any elf ears now. Let's go ahead and actually read the prompt here. A tall and broad-shouldered knight with a sun-kissed skin and messy sandy hair stands confidently in a dramatic forest clearing at sunset. His hazel eyes glint with both mischief and earnestness, and his clean-shaven face exudes rugged charm. He's dressed in an impeccably tailored knight's uniform in earthy tones, with a green cloak flowing behind him and brown leather boots. In one hand, he holds a plain but deadly short sword named Ashvane. The background features towering cedar trees and dappled sunlight with a hint of mystery and romance in the air, evoking the style of a romance novel cover. So, some things I would take out. A hint of. You don't need a hint. We just want straight mystery. Anything that sort of quantifies how much. We don't care about his boots. If we tell the AI about his boots, it will attempt to make his boots appear. So like in this picture where we have a more pulled out version of him, which is not necessarily what we want for an AI bot, but that's easy enough to take care of. We just get rid of the information about his boots. Don't tell the AI how tall he is. The AI does not care and will not be able to use that information. If you want it to be even closer, all I would do is just put close up right in the beginning here. And then let's see, there was one other thing I wanted. Messy Cindy here. We can take out stands confidently and get some more variety in posing. And in a dramatic forest clearing at sunset, his hazel eyes glint. Yes, okay, great. Xenia exudes rugged charm. He is dressed in an impeccably tailored knight's uniform. Let's see if putting knight's uniform in parentheses gets me something a little more formal than what we've been getting, because he's given ranger more than knight, with him being in a forest in earthy tones with a green cloak flowing behind him. In one hand, he holds a plain, but that's what we need to get rid of. Just any information that absolutely does not matter, like the name of the sword. The background features towering cedar trees and dappled sunlight. I don't care if they're cedar. I certainly didn't put that in any kind of lore. With mystery and romance in the air, evoking the style of a romance novel cover. Okay, so we'll get out of here and pop over and look at what we get with that modification. So he's going to be closer up now. You should see more of his face and have less of these sort of longer range mid shots that aren't quite as compelling when you're looking at a bot's cover. We took away the standing confidently, so he's not looking down at us, and we don't have these upshot angles. And here we go. We've got some pretty good looking dudes. He looks stoned. Why does he look stoned? You can modify the expression information. He looks like a park ranger. Okay, how do we fix that? Well, we can go in and we can say knight's uniform. What if we say fantasy knight's uniform? Or I could use my more ornate personalization, but it tends to do some weird stuff as well. So we'll stick with this personalization and we'll add the word fantasy knight and just see if we get something a little bit more interesting and formal than Park Ranger or Apocalypse Survivor. Okay, and this is just how I would kind of iterate through images, modifying the prompt based off of things that I've figured out and learned along the way. Okay, apparently a fantasy knight has a larger collar. Let's go ahead and say fantasy knight's uniform. I mean, this one works totally fine. Like, really, these aren't bad. Let's take out earth tones. Maybe earth tones is what's killing it for me. I just don't want this man in khaki. All right, so I went ahead and did that, and it's going to run in the background behind the image that I clicked on. Some other little features, the search bar up here, you can type in any word that you want. So if you generated something a while ago, so for example, I have some pictures of libraries that I use as backgrounds. Just type in library and you can find it based off of the prompt that you gave. You can also go over to organize and organize your pictures and things. And get a broader view. It's mostly what I use it for, is just to get a broader view of all the images I've generated. Okay, so we've got the romance novel cover here issue, where when I say romance novel, it likes to put text on things even when I say not to. They're use Photoshop or I use Google Photos Magic Eraser to get rid of that stuff, or just generate a new image. Again, you're going to go, what I would do is again, edit the prompt and say no elf ears or text. That's it. And it will usually get rid of most of it. But hey, this guy, he looks kind of cool. That guy looks like a giant fucking dork. And yeah, that guy looks more like a soldier. He's a student at an academy. So let's just put academy here. And that's basically what I will do over and over until it generates an image that I like. Might switch up the personalizations, might switch between Niji and Midjourney. I might change up the prompt. If I'm really not getting what I want, I can go back to ChatGPT and tell it to generate another image and give it more instruction. Every time it generates an image, it generates a new prompt. So it might generate a prompt the next time that you like better. So that's a basic guide to Midjourney. If there's anything that I have missed, please do let me know. Also, there's a lot of people who use Midjourney and have been using Midjourney, and we all go through this process of learning and figuring out and failing and succeeding, trying to get Midjourney to do what we want. So there's a lot of people on the various communities, on the various Discords for Janitor, that would be more than happy to talk about the things that they've discovered and the things that they do that help. I certainly am not the expert on it. I just know enough to make the images that I want it to make, and that's pretty much it. So with that being said, if you have any other questions, please do let me know. I would be happy to make another video. I could go into personalizations or anything else that you might be interested in. But with that, I am Zipper D. Again, you can find me on Janitor AI. Join my Discord. Have fun with us. And until then, I'll see you later.